This is the Automotive Repair Podcast Network.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Carm Capriato, Remarkable Results Radio. Good to see you. Good to have you here. We always appreciate your support. And, you know, there's one thing that somebody was telling me the other day is that they absolutely share great episodes that they love with friends that may just need a touch of the kind of topics that we cover. So appreciate that. Hey, you know the technician shortage is real, but NAPA Auto Care has a solution at no cost to members. The NAPA Auto Care Apprentice Program builds tomorrow's technicians through a 2-year, 9-stage curriculum. Learn more at member.napaautocare.com or talk to your NAPA representative today. Hey, let's face it, your shop management system is the most critical tool in your shop, and NAPA Tracks will move your shop into the SMS fast lane with on-site training, 6 days a week support, and local representation. Find NAPA Tracks on the web at napatracs.com. Hey, look, I've got Joe Hanson with me. Joe, I counted up. We did 19 episodes together in 10 years.
Seriously?
Seriously, Joe,
Wow.
19. And you were on individually with me or panels.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I've had you on. So don't ask me where this came up. And son of a gun, did I not go to your website? Because maybe I was thinking about you. And I saw this great, incredible headline on your website. It says, Helping People Do Life.
Yes.
And it really moved me, Joe. And I wrote to you and I said, get on. What's going on? We need an update on Gordie's Auto and Tire. We need to understand helping people do life. And Joe, I think that is such a powerful statement.
Yeah, that's our whole purpose, right? And it wasn't easy coming up with that, I got to say, though, because it was like one of my coaches, we got together and this is probably, it's got to be 5, maybe 6 years ago, something like that. And he's like, all right, we got to figure out why we're doing this. And I'm like, doing what? And he says, fixing cars and doing what you're doing. And I'm like, we're doing it to fix cars. And he's like, are you though? And I'm like, yeah, right. Am I? And he's like, I don't know. Are you? And I'm like, all right, I could see this is going to lead somewhere. So what are we doing here, Larry? And I got to tell you, it probably took about 6 months to figure out, why we were doing what we were doing, and it was quite an exercise. It was many meetings. You think it'd be simple, just come up with why you're doing what you're doing and, why you go to work every day. But it kind of gets empty after a while, right? So we sat down and he asked me a lot of questions. He's like, what gives you energy? What gives you excitement? And I'm like, I just like having fun. And he goes, well, what's that? And I go, man, I got to be honest. I watched my dad for my whole life helping everybody. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, and that gets him excited. And it does me too. I said, it just literally gives me energy. And it wasn't even about helping just necessarily with people with their cars. It's just helping in general. Like, I mean, we're all wired that way, aren't we? We go out and, do something for somebody or get them out of a bind or just whatever it is. Right. And you just feel really good about it. And it's not even the money that gives you that energy. It's just like, wow,
Joe, you're so right. Our cars help us do life.
Yes, they do.
It's amazing.
It is. And so it gets kind of down to like, why does anybody do anything, right? How does business even, it gets pretty deep. It's like, why does business even exist? And it's to serve each other, right? I mean, our nutritionist keeps us healthy. Our painter, makes our house look good. Our doctor helps us get back to health, hopefully, and it just so happens the mechanics keep the wheels moving so that we can do all of those things.
I guess when the car doesn't function,
right,
when it's got a check engine light on, or it just doesn't feel or sound good, it complicates our life.
Yeah.
And when you get on to automotive repair near me, near Roseville, Michigan, or New Baltimore, or Sterling, or Chesterfield, and that website comes up, you've almost subliminally said, rest, my child, come here.
Right. Your problem is now mine. Let me just handle this one for you. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Definitely.
4 locations?
Yes, currently.
When's the 5th one coming?
Well, we're going to start, it's looking like early spring. That's probably the most exact I can be.
Are you building or buying?
building.
Oh,
Mhm.
whoa.
Yeah, we're gonna
Good
be
for
adding
you.
on to our current Sterling Heights location. We have a big truck business there, and we've always had that truck business there even way before I acquired it even, and once I got in there, I'm like, "Wow, this is just some low-hanging fruit. We need to take advantage of that," and we got a phenomenal team there, and they're just l I mean, they're just great, and they love the trucks, and so we have a demand, and we're turning them away left and right, so I'm like, "Let's build it." It's been a lot of hurdles. I've learned a lot, I'll tell you that, through this process of building, going through environmental and city and all that, and so, yeah,
Is this the first time you've actually done an addition?
it is, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
learning curve. Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, there's just a lot of things, right?" There's a lot of
Why
things.
do I need a permit to do anything?
Everything.
I
It's
know.
everything. Environmental. It's been almost 2 years, yeah, in the making, after
Wow.
going through the environmental. That was probably one of the biggest things, and then we just learning all the different things. I had no idea, but it's fun. I'm having fun. It's a blast.
All right. Oh, I want this episode to be a fireside chat with Joe. I just want to find out what's going on in your world because I believe every shop owner, every specialist who's listening, every service advisor listening can learn something from some of the questions that I'm really curious about. You're doing online appointments.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it working? Is it working?
Yeah, I can we've been doing them for a long time. They work great. Yeah, I mean, it I don't know how you do them, to be honest. I mean, it's just part of our routine. I mean, our CRM kicks out the emails that people book appointments, and it's seamless. So, yeah,
Fleet services, you just mentioned them. Is it you only do them at one place or do you recruit fleet from everywhere and take them all to the one store?
oh, no, we do them at all the stores for sure. We do a significant amount of fleet at all the stores. Our the biggest amount of fleet we do is at our Sterling Heights store, only because it's the biggest store.
Got it.
But and in addition to that's where the large trucks are, and a lot of that is obviously fleet work.
Has this been in Gordie's for years, or did you just say one day, "Hey, let's do fleet"?
I didn't really do a lot of fleet until I acquired the Sterling Heights location in 2021. Once I got in there, I was like, what is a national account? What is this network? It was a complete eye opener to me. Some good stuff, some bad stuff. I mean, there's less margin on a lot of that fleet work, right? But it's consistent. So the cash flow is there, which is super important, as we all know. My first year was a lot of learning. And then after that second store I acquired, they did a little fleet. The fourth store didn't, or the third store did a little fleet. The fourth store didn't do any, but it was easy to implement that into that. And then my first store started doing much more fleet because of that.
Let's talk about tires. I know you're big in that. And
Mhm.
again, I think that was another major evolution in you looking at, hey, we're not in the tire business, let's get in it.
Mhm.
What percentage of your business is tires, Joe?
It's still not a lot. I thought it would be a lot easier to get a lot more. It's probably, I would say, 6 to 8% of our tire business, but or is our
Okay.
of our total business is tires, but it's a significant profit center, even though it's that small of amount, because we didn't do hardly any. Our mechanical business has grown. It's still it's a lot. We've grown quite a bit, even though it's only 6, 8%, but it is growing. And, it was interesting because it was like, and I don't know if everybody agree with this, is just what we're seeing through our little business. And it's just like, you get going, you get all fired up about tires, right? And you're like, I'm going to do 30% tires, 30%, labor, 30% mechanic. And then it's like, but that's not what we do, right? That's not what we did. That's not where we made our money. That's not what we're experts at. But why not it's still a great add-on, right? So if we can
Mm-hmm.
get 10 to 15% tires, right? Let's do it. But we're not going to do that in spite of our auto repair business serving our people the way we've served them over the years, right? Because it does take a certain amount of real estate in the building. It takes a certain amount of talent away from the other stuff. And there's only so much you have of those things. So I'm not going to
Yep.
jeopardize repair for tires. But at the same time, I'm still growing our tire business. There's so much tire business that we are not taking advantage of, for sure, that when it's in the shop, we're not capitalizing on all of it, but we're getting a lot better at it.
Why? Is it time?
Is it time?
Yeah, time.
Um,
You just can't fit, you
yeah,
want to get it done, but you've got this vehicle in for some real major service, and now it's going to take maybe till the next day to get the tires and supply the customer. I just saw a survey. 31%, only 31% of shops are currently able to complete services within a single day. That came from AZ and Ratchet and Wrench. I just saw that.
Oh,
31% aren't
I'm not,
getting services done in one day. Is that possible?
I don't know the stat, but just thinking over, I mean, it's probably right. I mean, it's right. Obviously, they have the stat, they know what they're doing. But yeah, I think maybe supply chain and
Okay.
availability of parts, possibly. I mean, that's a little bit of an issue still. So slows you down,
Damn.
right? But as far as
Damn.
back to the tires, I think you asked why not more, and I'm the last one to make an excuse. It's training, right? It's training. It's a matter of, I think, confidence, taking a mechanical shop and turning some of them into tire stores, right? It's training. They're very comfortable selling everything else. And then it gets into tires and they're like, well, and then it gets down to, right? Like people buy from confident salespeople, people that they, right? And if they're not confident as much as they are, and not that they're not confident, but not as much as in selling the other services that they sell, people may not buy just because of that. They might go, well, I'm just going to hold off on them tires, or I'm going to wait till spring, or I'm going to wait till fall.
I believe it was your website as I was kind of hanging out, really loving what you were doing there. And it asked, I think I was able to walk through, get a tire quote, right?
Yeah, yep, for sure. Yep. People use that tool
$1,200
for tires. Oh, yeah.
for 4 tires for my car?
Yeah, it happens.
I know it does. I get it. Low
Yeah.
profile, nice and wide.
Yeah.
And I started to think, okay, I'm in here for a $500 or $600 brake job, and I need tires.
Yeah.
So do you use? I mean, are people financing through? I mean, are they swiping? They're swiping their card, probably. Number one, are they taking the financing option that you offer?
For sure. Yeah, we use Goodyear and NAPA, Easy Pay, and we use them both. Yeah, people. It's very seamless, very easy. I think it's essential for sure, giving people an option. Never like to see people have to charge things and go into debt, but it is what it is. They got to have a car that runs and have a safe car. With, you figure you got a car, right? Barry said this to me, Barry Barrett, and he said this a long time ago. I never forgot it. He goes, think about it, Joe. You got a 7,000-pound missile going down the road, or maybe a 5,000-pound missile going down the road, and there's 4 square inches of rubber touching on each wheel, and you're going down the road. Why would people not want a tire that's going to grab? I'm like, I never thought of it that way, but that's a great way to put it. So we use that in the shop all the time, because I mean, he's right. Think about that.
God, I haven't talked to Barry in so long.
Oh no, yeah.
We should get all like 4 or 5 of us that used to hang out together all the time. We should get us back together, and do an on-air cocktail hour or something.
Oh, I'm in. That'd be fun. That'd be great.
You see more price quotes of late?
People price shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's any more. I think it's, when you've been doing this a while, right? So everything goes like this, but I don't care if they have a price quote. I'm not trying to be the cheapest. I'm not trying to be the most expensive either, but we're just trying to help people. We're legitimately, hey, how can we figure out outside of the repair, how can we figure out how we can help this person, either if they have to finance this or just, maybe use a different part or whatever we have to do to get them back on the road. Safety first, but to get them back on the road. So yeah, we get price quotes. We just work through it. It's communication. You just talk to the customer, build a relationship. And I mean, we've had plenty of times where people have gone somewhere else and came back, said, I should have had you guys do it. They didn't fix the issue. I mean, it's rare, but it happens, right? Because we're going to use a good part, or we were taking our time to do the testing properly, to give them the right answers. You get that a little bit with Diag. People will say, I don't want to pay for the diagnostics of the testing. And, I understand. I don't want to pay that either. That's not a fun thing to do, but they go to a guest somewhere and they tell that shop what to fix, or that shop maybe isn't doing the testing and it seems cheaper up front. And then they come back. We had one today with a thermostat. It was a head gasket. A customer left, went to a competitor and called us back and said, can I bring it in? It's still, they paid money for a thermostat and it's something else. It's the head gasket. So.
Hey, it's no secret the automotive industry is facing a technician shortage, but NAPA Auto Care has stepped up with a powerful solution, the NAPA Auto Care Apprentice Program. And the best part, it's completely free for members. This program was pioneered by shop owners Pete McNeil and master technician Jake Sorensen at McNeil's Auto Care in Sandy, Utah. They recognized that waiting for skilled technicians to appear wasn't an option, so they built a program to grow their own. By recruiting motivated individuals with the right passion and attitude and providing them with structured training, they proved that apprentices could become the next generation of skilled, certified technicians. The program features a comprehensive 9-stage curriculum with in-depth classroom videos, instructor-led NAPA Auto Tech classes, web-based courses, and hands-on training with a mentor. Apprentices move at their own pace, typically completing the program within 2 years. Graduates earn 4 ASE certifications, the G1, A4, A5, and air conditioning, and are officially registered with the Department of Labor as Journey Workers Automotive Technicians. And here's the business benefit. As apprentices gain skills, they generate billable hours, often boosting shop profits as early as stage 5. Plus, NAPA now offers a new apprentice toolkit, developed with Carlisle tools at an exclusive price, helping break down one of the biggest barriers for new technicians, the cost of tools. Together, NAPA Auto Care in your shop can tackle the technician shortage head on. Start now. Grow your own talent and build your bench for the future. Visit member.napaautocare.com or contact your NAPA representative today and get started with your apprentice program. Hey, let's face it, your shop management system is the single most important tool in your shop, period. NAPA Trax has made selecting the right shop management system easy by offering the industry's best, most comprehensive SMS. Now, it all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you need to run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice, and having local representation is a huge plus. Customizing Trax to your business, whether you're a one-person shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company, a representative consults with you to help optimize your shop's workflow, efficiency, and profitability. Trax always has the flexibility to do business how you need to do it, which means it can also grow as your business grows. And unlike the other guys, we'll be there for you after installation with the best training and support in the business. Yes, a learning management system tailored to each role in your company. Simply put, Trax was designed and built for shop owners just like you. Visit us on the web at NAPATRAX, that's NAPATRACS.com. People are making automotive, and I don't love the word, I don't appreciate the word diagnostic, and you said testing, and I love that better, but just the solution to so many of the problems that happen. They're not respecting the fact that it's like, what's going to be the points, it's going to be the condenser, it's going to be the plugs, or maybe the wire. It's not like that today and anymore. And I think we continue to, I don't know, who do you think's dumbing down this, that, anybody can do this and it should be done for cheap? Why is that still the moniker of what we do?
I think it's our fault, I mean, because you got to take responsibility for what's going on to some degree. And I think there's other factors. There's part stores that diagnose them in the parking lot, test them in the park. There's all those, right? And that's fine. That's a different clientele. But I think that, again, it comes back to the training and talking to that customer and the transparency and educating them on what it takes to actually find out what's wrong with that vehicle, letting them know, it's not as simple as it looks. And here's the thing, like I've always hoped, and I think anybody owns a shop, we wish we didn't maybe even have to do testing. Wouldn't it be great if we could plug that thing in that everyone thinks, a lot of customers think we have? Can you plug that computer in and it just tells you what's wrong? My God, that would be the greatest thing. If there was something like that, can you imagine? There'd be no comebacks. There'd be nothing. You just plug it in. Yeah, you need this, and you just do the work, and it's done, right?
And when you tell that to a client, he thinks you're lying to him. Yeah, they do.
A lot of times.
Joe's just trying to charge me more. He really does know.
We get that. I had one customer, and man, longtime customer too, and every time he come in, I'm not paying for testing. Don't charge me for that testing. Like, and I finally just had to be like, well, I don't know if we're a fit, because I do have to pay these guys to do this, right? I do have to, it takes time. We know the scenario. It takes time to do the testing, and I got to pay a guy to do that testing. And there has to be revenue. There has to be a margin. There has to be profit. Otherwise, we're not going to be here. So we just can't guess at them.
Joe, what percentage of clients do you believe are key droppers?
I don't know if I know what percent are necessarily key droppers.
Your gut. 10%, 20%? They just come in and says, here, Joe, we've been coming here forever. Here, fix whatever's wrong.
Yeah, I would say 20 would be aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. You said it's an interesting question because I think when we were a single shop owner and it was just, I was on the counter and it was just, and then my dad's running around and it's just like our little tiny world, right? I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
was probably higher then because it was so much more personal. And now it's like, I'm not everywhere. Not that our staff isn't, actually they're better than me on the counter. They're way better than me on the counter, but it's that family relationship thing. I think as you grow a little bit, it's a little tougher to keep that. So I think in a multi-shop world, it might drop a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Not to anyone's fault. It's just a little bit of a different feel, right?
Yeah. The
And
intimacy of
people,
it.
I think when people see more than one, they're thinking it's not family, right? Even though we are, it's not as family, right? But we are. So
I got a question about, you just sold me 4 tires. Absolutely needed an alignment. You can visually see that it was off. You ran it over your Hunter lane check machine, saw that it was required. It's a later model vehicle with ADAS, forward radar on it, and you say, look, the alignment's going to be $399 because the alignment's $99. We got to do a calibration. Whatever your price is, it just doesn't matter. But it's more than a typical person would be knowing that an alignment used to cost. Will you refuse to do the alignment, the whole job, if they don't get the calibration because they think you're BSing them, or the shop down the street who doesn't have ADAS equipment says, just bring it in, I'll do the alignment?
would I refuse? I don't know that I would refuse. I would document for sure. I wouldn't refuse. We have the equipment. So, I mean, we can do it and we do. But again,
Do
I think
people understand what that means if that
No.
radar is going to be
they
off
don't.
down the
You have
road?
to educate them. You have to teach them, hey, your
Yeah.
brakes aren't going to have your safety equipment's not going to work properly. I mean, there's a liability component to this. Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I'm not going to just dismiss the job. No, I would just educate them, let them know. So,
Have you jumped into battery electric vehicles? I mean, you must be doing hybrids, right?
yeah, we do hybrids in 2 of the stores. The other one's not as much, but yeah, we do them. I actually just did about a year ago, did a hybrid battery in my brother's Toyota. So yeah,
Are there a lot of EVs out in Detroit?
no, I think the stat was 5%,
Okay.
but it's nothing.
But you're ready and you're
Yeah,
prepared.
we can do with tires and all that. Yeah, and we got in our Sterling Heights store, we have one tech that is, or actually 2 stores certified for hybrid and that. So
What's the latest equipment you've bought?
what did I buy last? I bought another scanner, Altel scanner. I did buy a Altel aligner with ADAS, which
Is it at
cool.
one of the shops?
Yeah, right now. Yep. And then we're buying some hoists right now because we're putting the addition on. So we're in the process of that. A tire machines too. Man, we bought a lot of stuff, I guess. Yeah, I bought some tire machines. They're wearing out. Balancers. Yeah, I mean, we're some Hunter stuff. Yeah.
How many road forces do you have?
None.
Okay. Don't see the need?
Just don't see it.
Got it. Apprentice programs. You doing anything with apprentices?
We have 4 technicians, tech apprentices on that now. And it was really, so we had a couple injuries this year in the shops and a little bit of shorthanded, right? And man, it was like, how are we going to do this, right? And how are we going to make it without Andrew? And, he's doing many hours and it's like, and then in our new Baltimore store, same thing. It was like, man, we're in a bind. And Jacob, and I mean, they all have, Jacob and Drew. I mean, they've been in the apprentice program for a short time, but what we really found that really accelerated their progress is the pressure to perform and step up when we needed them. Because sometimes in the apprentice, and I don't know, maybe I'm getting off topic with this, but it just came to mind. Sometimes in the apprentice program, they're going through and they're learning and they're doing their online training and they're doing their book work and they take their test and they get a test and then they work with the technician for a couple of days and they go back to the do tires and oil changes and basic stuff and then they work with the and that routine is like, okay, cool. But at the end of the day, when they get out of that routine, they need to produce, right? You need to be able to produce. And we had these, unfortunate events at the shops with injuries and whatnot. We were like, okay, so they were in this program and we're like, what, how come the hours are still good? We're like, how are we doing this? And we're looking and we're watching Drew doing 50 hours. Jacob, he had 60 hours one week. We're like, where have you been? Like, what is happening here? Right. And it was just, they were just absorbing all that information and learning.
But they were in the apprentice program,
Yeah.
Joe, before this happened. So
Yeah.
it was kind of,
Yeah, they're incubating, and we're like, okay, they're doing, and they were doing phenomenal. They're getting their certs, moving on, getting all their, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're coming off the bench here. You need to do this. And they did. It was like, wow, that's just crazy. So one valuable lesson we learned from the apprentice doing this apprentice program is test them, meaning throw them in the fire, let them get to work and see what they can do. Because I think we would be very surprised at the talent that's out there, at least from what we've experienced, that they're able to do a lot more than what maybe we thought they were ready for. And they just develop so much faster. It's been great. Yeah. And it feels really good. Like, and just circle this back with helping people, I like our purpose, right? Helping people do life. And it's like, a lot of people think, oh, that's about the consumer side of this, right? That's about going out and fixing their car to keep them moving and all that good stuff. But it's a 50-50 deal to me. There's an internal component that if we can bring people into our industry, raise them up, they can make a good living. And then you're there when they get married. Like we had Danny, he just got married. He's in the apprentice program. I was like, all right, this is cool. And he's right. And then you got Kevin over here. He's on a second baby. And you got TJ over here in the counter, and he's raising their family. And you're like, man, I didn't do it, right? But it's just this environment that we have that we're helping people do life. They could have done that anywhere. I get that, but they didn't. They did it with us, and that feels good because they're part of our team, and we can raise them up and hopefully provide an environment where they can sharpen their craft and provide a living and support their family and their wife, all that kind of stuff. So it's more than just the outward. There's a lot going on inside that honestly is probably, if not, it's probably more fulfilling, to be honest. They're both good, but that's like, yeah, this is cool. Like we got, all these families that we're a part of, like, and helping with. So there's more to it than just the cars.
What a very, very powerful 2 minutes that you just spoke to, helping people do life, not only for our clients, but as you just said, maybe more so for the culture of our people inside, and all the mouths we feed and all the lives that are flourishing
right
because of this. And it goes back to something that I've been on a little bit of a soapbox about lately, Joe. I'm on a soapbox about a lot of things, but it was thinking about skilled trades the other day, and I want to call them essential skilled trades. And I realized that the word trades shouldn't be there. It should either be a skilled occupation or a skilled career.
Mm-hmm.
And we say trades, and it's not like it's disrespectful, but really trade school or apprentice programs build and create occupations / or careers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you speak to helping people do life, you got to have a career or an occupation in order to do life.
You do. We're fortunate to become a part of another, just very small part of it, but to help one of the local Catholic schools do one of their, I guess they were learning to use CAD and do 3D printing, and they're making a plow and a salter and all these things, and we were able to, contribute to that so they could get their resources. And it's like, yeah, that's what it's about right there. You got these local, you get a lot of, I don't know. It's one thing to advertise, right? It's cool. You go out and get your flyers. They go to the house. People come in. Oh, I'm here for the coupon. But it's more fun when you go somewhere. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, we're part of that. We're part of the school. Oh, our banner's there at the high school, and we're helping support that. And just little droplets right here and there. And it just seems to work better, to be honest. I can't measure it, obviously, because they're not coming in with the banner or the thing, right? But the noise, right? You hear the noise. So
I love the word noise. I use it a lot. A couple of great words of incubating and droplets, marketing droplets. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an official word, but it should be.
No, I made it up.
Yeah. Marketing droplets. In that survey that I had mentioned just a little earlier ago, it said 80% of survey respondents report that shop expertise was very or extremely important. How do you get that confidence instilled in your clients for them to feel and believe that you guys are the experts?
Process. You got to have processes. You literally have to, from the time the phone rings to actually, it's from the time we just talked about this. You got to set the groundwork, right? Like you literally have to get up in the morning and be ready. Like you get up, brush your teeth, make sure your clothes look good, make your hair if you got any, but do your thing with that. If you're just be ready, like get your game face on, get in and be ready to serve. Because that's what you're there for. You're there to serve these people. Help. That's our number one core value. Serve, right? We don't serve cars, serve people, right? So you got to be ready to do that. From that point, you got to be ready to answer that phone with the intent to help. right? Yeah, you might be busy, we might be slammed, but you got to be ready to help. Without getting too detailed, you got to have the processes down. And I think that people, they get comfort in you sounding confident and you knowing what you're going to do, you knowing what is going to happen. Another thing that really gives people confidence is setting expectations with them, right? When they come, this is what you're going. Here's what you're going to expect. Someone calls on the phone and they're talking about, I got to bring my car in for, an engine light. All right, what day? Well, you're going to bring it in Thursday. Great. You know what? On Thursday, I'm going to have Anthony or Billy's going to be the technician looking at that car for you. I mean, you're going to like that. He's really good at what he does. So right there, that customer is now going, okay, so I'm taking it in. I know I'm going this day. I know Billy's working on it. And this guy says he's really good. I just edified that technician. Seems like a small thing, but no, it's big, because you walk in and they can already see the expectation's been set. They're comfortable with Billy, and they never even met Billy, but they're just comfortable because that advisor edified them, right? So it's just a couple little things right there. But process is everything. It really makes you look professional.
I've always said processes win wars, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's the war and the challenge against making things really good, either internally and or externally to versus your competition. I heard two incredible words there, because I asked you about where are people feeling that you have that expertise. You said experience, you said expectations. And it's really, if my experience was at the top of its craft, everything worked out so well, my expectations were met, that must connote to me expertise. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to define it.
Yeah. And you said the word customer experience, the phrase customer experience, and that at the end of the day, it's what it is, right? That's what it's all about. Like that experience, how do you make it good? It's all those things that we just talked about fall under that customer experience. And if it's a good experience, it's because you communicated, you were transparent, you were eager to help, you were empathetic, you were all those things to that customer. You made them feel like they were important, all those things. And if you do all that right, it's real tough to lose unless you have an irrational customer.
Were you born to do this, or was there a moment in time you said, I need some training, some coaching, some guidance, some accountability, and that was kind of a defining move or moment for you?
I'm trying to think when I started training in this. I think I was in junior high school, and I started way back. I think my first training that I did was management success, when that was around way back. So did that. Sure. I mean, I can't even remember all the training. I mean, and then through our 20 group, and those are like brothers, right? Those guys more than anything. And so, there's been training. Born to do this? No, not even. Didn't want to do it. I didn't, growing up in it, family business, that can be, like, I hate this, I'm never doing it, right? All that kind of stuff growing up, working with family, it has dynamics that are interesting. Now it's the best thing ever. Still, I think about how, like, you think about, like, well, my mom worked there, my dad worked there, right? Works there. But it's like, I saw my dad more in those years when it was me and him at the shop than most people ever see their parents or their dad, because I was there every day. Good and bad sometimes, right? Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. But now we're on the other side, he's 85 and still kicking, and, actually just crushing it, still working every day.
Damn.
You look back at that and you're like, man, what a blessing that was, because you learn so much, and, it's just not really measurable. So, So born to do it. No, I didn't decide to do this till it was probably decided till I decided, hey, Dad, I need to buy the shop. I need to get on with my life. And then from there, it's fun. So
been there and done that, Joe. I hear you, man. Any big problem that you're working on right now?
Well, the big one I was working on was our expansion, but we got that under, not a problem. We don't do
or
that.
Challenge, problem
we
or
opportunities
challenge.
In our world, but we were working through that, but we're just a lot of growth stuff we're working on, getting our leadership team solidified and learning how to work together. That's not a problem you fix, though. Like Andy Stanley did a podcast once, and he was talking about problems to fix and problems to manage, right? And right away, if a problem, that you got to understand the difference, right? So if you got something that you have to manage, you won't get pissed off and mad when you can't fix it, because you're just managing it. Things like an example on something you're going to manage is, having the way that the phone calls are going on the phone call audits, right? It's like, why aren't they're never going to be fixed? You're always going to have to manage them, right? You're always coaching and you're always encouraging and and giving constructive feedback. That's a problem that you're going to manage, right? So we have a lot of things that we're managing. Like I said, we're working together, leadership teams working together, marketing, branding. I mean, there's not one thing standing out for sure, but just every day's a day, right? You just go in and get at it.
What's next for you, Joe?
As far as
look at what's going on in the industry and the consolidation that's going on.
oh yeah,
Private equity, and obviously, you're a multi-shop operator, and everybody says, "Oh my God!" Well, then Joe's preparing himself for a really big, wonderful exit someday, and maybe not. There's a lot of people that says, "No, I'm just comfortable with right where I am." What's your think on that?
well, I tell everyone this at work. I'm going to do this till it's not fun. And I look at my dad, and he's still having fun. I'm 49. He's 84, almost 85. It's close to 85. And you look at, and it's true, there's tons of consolidate. I mean, it is absolutely everywhere. And we get approached all the time to, hey, do you want, right? It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And we've had friends that have consolidated, and it has been tremendously awesome for them. And they're happy. I just can't see, it's my dad's name on the business, right? I mean, it's Gordie's Auto and Tire. We named this. That wasn't an accident to name it that. That's my dad, right? So that would be super weird, right? How could you sell that that's weird. I don't understand that yet. But I mean, I'm having fun, and I don't what I do, right? I'm going, even if you got a ton of money, right? You get, okay, then I've seen a lot of people get the money and then, they don't have a purpose then, and it's not fun. I'm having
Start
fun.
a coffee shop or a brewery.
I could.
But there's only 30 of them within 4 miles.
I know. There's a lot of, it's just not, we're growing. Honestly, Carl, I'm so focused on growing the business and trying to make it better and improve it and build our truck shop, and then some other opportunities that are on the, horizon there. And I don't know.
But you're doing it, Joe. I love the fact that you're having fun. I love the fact that you've invested in some really high-tech equipment to give the best experience you can to your clients, and building an apprentice program and working with your sales team and selling tires. I mean, wow, I guess you're right. Think about what Joe just said. When it stops being fun, then either you need to get a shot of fun from a doctor, a fun doctor,
right? Fun doctor.
Or go to school, find a 20 group, get a coach, or get the hell out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think knowing why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have fun until you do that, because you're just chasing dollars. Then you're just chasing the next busy season. They're trying to fix the next slow season. When you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, and the purpose is just that. And I mean it, Carm, to help people, even at a non-profitable moment. There's times you do help people, and then you lose money, and that's okay, because you still feel good. You still did the right thing. And I see my dad do that all the time. I used to get so mad at him when I was young. I said, "Why the guy's taking advantage of you?" My dad's like, "It'll be fine," and then it was fine, and it is fine.
It was almost like it was a religion for your dad to help people.
Yeah.
That he would look the other way or do it at cost or not charge, because it was more fulfilling to his heart than it was to the business. And it was religion to help people do life. And he never realized it back then.
No, he didn't. This was in him. This is what he's still doing. He's still that way.
What a powerful legacy story, Joe. I wish you all the luck in the world out of the Detroit metropolitan area. Joe Hanson, Gordie's Auto and Tire. Thanks for being here, man.
Appreciate you, Karen. Thank you.